Hello my lovelies and welcome back. Today it's all about better than best makeup. So it's going to be JOA Beauty versus products that are really well known and they're much more expensive, but supposedly JOA products are better than these products. I'm really curious. I've never tried this brand before. It's a Korean American brand. I think you can find them at CVS, but we purchased, I think, most everything on their website. So let's begin with primers. So their primer is the Pore Deactivator. It's a pore minimizing and mattifying primer infused with tea tree extract. This retails for $11.99 versus the Smashbox primer. This right here is a coveted primer on the market. It's the original photo finish smoothing and blurring primer for $42 US. Let's go with the right side JOA, expensive side, basically the dupes or the expensive products. So dupe versus expensive. So this right here, it's transparent. And again, it has that silicone dimethicone feeling where it just going to kind of fill in your pores. A little bit of that slick feeling. I'm trying to see if this one has a scent. I'm not really smelling anything. You can see the difference right away. Look at that. Kind of smooth, blurred everything out versus this side. There's still quite a bit of shine. It's not as blurred. Let's go with Smashbox on the left side. Ooh. I don't remember this being so watery. More of a liquid consistency than the JOA. And they both have that slick feeling afterwards as well. They both look very, very similar. All right, let's move on to JOA BB Cream. This one didn't have like a better than best version. It is their multitasking natural finish beauty balm that's supposed to cover, blur, hydrate, and protect your skin. It has niacinamide in here. It's also supposed to give you a medium buildable coverage, and it has a velvet finish. So let's try it out. I'm really intrigued. I have shade Vanilla and Ivory, just in case I have to mix and match, but Vanilla looks like it might actually be a good shade range, good shade for me. It's a light beige undertone, and this is $9.99. Let's go on this side first. Looks like it's blending in nice. It actually has pretty good coverage for a beauty balm, like they said. It's a buildable medium coverage. Oh wow, yeah, that oxidized a little bit. Just gonna take a little bit of the, what is this? Of the Ivory shade. I think this is their lightest shade, Ivory. I'm just gonna take some on the center of my forehead. Basically like that. With those primers underneath, I still have a really nice glow. I wouldn't say this is a velvet finish. I would say it's a natural finish with a little bit of a radiance. It looks really nice in the skin, but I feel like if you try to build it up to get like a really solid medium coverage, it might look a little bit heavy on your face. Has a little bit of a stickiness, not a stickiness, like a slick feeling, but that also could be because of the primer. And I did let my primers sit for at least 30 seconds to make sure they kind of become one with my skin, but that's actually very pretty. Okay, so we do have a dupe for, or the expensive versus their brow pencil. Their brow pencil is the Brow Down to Me Precision Brow Pencil. It retails for $9.49, and they have 10 shades to choose from. In front of me, I have medium brown, and this is smudge proof, water resistant, and it's supposed to last all day long. And the pencil that it's voted against that is better is the Anastasia Beverly Hills The Brow Wiz, and this is one of my favorite eyebrow pencils besides, you know, my Winky Lux, my NYX, my Milani, my Benefit. I have a lot of brow pencils, but this right here is just a good, iconic, coveted brow pencil. It's just great. This one retails for $23 US, and it has 12 shades to choose from. And I love the shade Ash Brown. It just matches my brow hairs perfectly. It's the most neutral. It's not super cool tone, and it's not really warm tone. It's just right there in between. And this brow pencil is great. It has a spoolie on one end as well, and a nice micro brow tip that you could create hair-like strokes. Let's go with medium brown on this side. I'm barely pressing, and it's giving really good pigment. Color looks pretty good. A little bit warm, but it's nice. Nice and blendable. Looks pretty good, right? That's actually really nice. Nice and soft, not intense. Very easy to control type of a pencil. That's actually very nice. I like it. I like it a lot so far. This one's pigment, like way more pigmented right away. Also super blendable, very easy to work with. Going to fill this side in a little bit more just to even out the color. I actually really like this one a lot for that really natural day where I don't want very intense brows. It's a beautiful everyday pencil, and plus the price point is phenomenal. I'm gonna set my brows using the Joa, their Brow Down to Me, their Super Hold Brow Setter with vitamin B5. And this retails for $8.99. Okay, so they're saying it's supposed to be soap brow worthy in seconds with a soft, flexible formula that grooms your brows in place all day long. And it's a transparent formula, it doesn't have any kind of pigment. It is a very soft formula. I'm just not sure if it's going to hold my brows in place. Not really doing much, but I'm gonna let it sit and maybe we can kind of control it once it gets a little more tacky. You can see with that formula is just kind of combing through the brows, but it's also falling, making the brows fall down. So for eyes, we do have 3 different products that we're gonna be comparing to the expensive version, but for their eyeshadow palette, I wanted to play with it as well. They don't have an expensive version that they compare it to, but I was really intrigued by this little eyeshadow palette. So let's go with the eyeshadow palette first. It costs $11.49. I picked up their Escape palette. It's called the Nudist Colony. I'm gonna quickly prime my eyelids using the Dominique Cosmetics, the Everlasting Eye Base. It's 24-hour crease proof. I'm gonna take this shadow and this shadow kind of mixed together and work it into the crease. These are the only 2 matte shades right here. I actually got a brush from them. Their dual-ended eyeshadow brush. Oh, really soft brush. And the eyeshadow is really pretty, very soft, very minimal. And then I wanna take this shadow right here. It has a little bit of a shimmer. It's like this beautiful cocoa, good dark cocoa with a little bit of like gold flecks in there. Kind of like in the crease, but below it. And then in the outer portion, it's actually really pretty. It's not super intense and glittery, but I'm sure you can get it more intense with your fingertips or wet it. For their gel eyeliner, we're speculating that they're comparing it to the Urban Decay, the 24-hour, the 24/7 Glide on Waterproof Eyeliner Pencil, and their Make Her Jealous Gel Eyeliner. Cute name. And they have like the typical, they have the black, the brown, and then they have this deep blue color, which I want to compare it to Urban Decay. It's supposed to be a waterproof finish that lasts until you remove it. Okay, that's nice. It glides on as effortlessly as a felt tip or a liquid liner. It's not the most pigmented and it's not the most creamy, but it does swatch really nice, and I'm hoping it's gonna look very pretty on the eyes. And we're gonna compare it to the Urban Decay in shade Sabbath. And this one you do have to sharpen. It's not like a retractable. I don't know why I'm retracting it, but man, Sabbath is pretty. There's a reason why the Urban Decay, they're so good and they're so popular. They're so pigmented, and once they set, they set. But let's go with this. Let's go with the Joa. I think I wanna do a little bit more, extreme. So you can see I'm kind of having to press pretty hard. And it's not giving me the most amount of pigment. It's tugging. Not the creamiest, not the most pigmented, not the easiest eyeliner pencil to work with. Okay, it looks a little bit better, but I'm going to clean that up. Okay, that looks better. Ooh, you can't really compare the 2.
It's much less, it's less tugging.
There's no tugging, there's 0 tugging. I'm just trying to be cautious because I broke it, so it's a little thick. Okay, I'm just doing the same thing. Eyeliner brush. Okay, obviously slightly different colors, but with the consistency, the comfortability to use this eyeliner pencil, the Joa, in my opinion, Urban Decay is worth every penny over the Joa. The Joa is it tugs, it's not as creamy, it's not as pigmented. It's a beautiful color and you can definitely make it work, but you have to work to make it work. The Urban Decay, it literally just glides on for you and then you just wing it out. I mean, it's beautiful. So for mascara, this is their Lash Up Rising Volumizing and Lengthening Mascara, $9.99. And this is compared to Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. And this mascara retails for $28 US. I am not the biggest fan of Too Faced Better Than Sex. I find that it's clumpy. I find that it flakes on me and just not the most long wearing. It is a really nice mascara, but it's nice up to a point. So this side, Joa. So it's washable, ultra light buildable volume with high impact ultra volumizing formula. It's not the most pigmented mascara right away, but we might need to let this dry to do 2 to 3 coats. The wand is nice. It's not super stiff where it's really poking my eyeball out. It's a really comfortable wand to work with, but the mascara formula, it's not really doing much. Let's go on to Too Faced. The formula is a little bit more slick with Too Faced. It's a lot more black also. I'm gonna go back to this one, build it up a little bit more. Oh, it's having a hard time building up. And it's not as pigmented. It is pretty clumpy. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Too Faced because it doesn't really do too much to my lashes, but this side looks so much better than this side. For concealer, we have this one by Joa, and this is their Perfect Complexion Eye Serum Concealer with ceramides and peptides. This one was going viral on TikTok, and it retails for $11.99. This is a concealer that's supposed to brighten and hydrate as you erase the look of dark circles, puffiness, dullness, dry skin, and fine lines. Interesting. It says, it's like a shot of espresso for dull under eyes. It has that sponge tip applicator, which is not my favorite. Not much is coming out. I'm just having a hard time. Oh, yep. Yep, that's way too light. Whoops. They're not really saying what kind of finish it's supposed to be or how much of, like what kind of coverage you're supposed to get, but it's brightening. I wouldn't say it's concealing really well. It's very light coverage with the sponge. I'm gonna use my finger. It does feel really nice. I'm gonna use my Morphe on top of this just because it's a little too bright. I need to correct it a little bit. I would say this concealer, the Joa, it has more of a natural radiant finish, like a serum finish, but it's not very serum-y in texture. It's more creamy. I'm gonna take that same eyeshadow that I used, and I'm gonna smudge on the lower lash line, just in the outer portions. Then I wanna take that gold and bring it to the inner corner. Mascara to the lower lash line. Okay, so for bronzer and blush, I'm not really comparing it to anything. And this is their Glow on Girl Bronze and Glow Duo. $4.79. I think it's on sale currently right now, so I'm not sure what it is for full price. And they only just had this shade. I'm gonna take like a big duo fiber brush and work the bronzer in there. Okay, very soft and subtle. Okay, bronzer is applying really nice actually. Not having any issues with it. Okay, let's move on to blush. This is their Airlight Soft Powder Blush in shade Warm Poppy. Very pretty color. This retails for $6.99. It's supposed to be talc free. It creates a blurring effect, pop of color in one swipe, super fine soft texture, weightlessly blends. Interesting. I'm just gonna take my wow, that's pigmented. My Rose and Ben blush brush. I love this brush, it's so pretty. The brush is pretty, but I love the way it works with blushes. I'm just gonna stamp it on. She's pigmented. Okay, it's definitely giving some type of a sheen, which I'm not mad at. And it is definitely blurring the skin. This one's really pretty, easy to work with, but it's a little bit more powdery. All right, for highlighter, I have their Crystal Glow Jelly Balm Highlighter in shade JCGO2. Is that the shade name? But this retails for $11.99. And it is a bouncy cream formula that creates a natural shimmer and glow. This honestly reminds me of Stila highlighter, just not as intense. It's a little chunky. This is the Stila. This one's actually like a highlighter. This one's definitely more chunky and it's not as pigmented. All right, I'm gonna use my fingertips actually. Yeah, this is definitely not like a wet type of a highlighter. It's more of a shimmer. Like you can see that kind of looks like specks of glitter on your cheeks. I picked up their lip liner because we have a lip gloss that they compare to an expensive version. Their lip liner is the Lip Candy Auto Lip Liner, $4.99. And it's supposed to be waterproof, which is really interesting. I like the price point. I have shade Nude. So for the lip gloss, they're comparing it to the MAC, the lip gloss. It's the Glassify lip gloss. Joa has a long doe foot applicator. Oh, that's actually really nice. It's not that sticky or tacky. It's actually very pretty. I like that so far. Let's take the MAC. This has also a nice doe foot applicator, but it's a little more shorter and chubbier. Wow, MAC is a lot stickier from what I remember, and it definitely is a lot tackier on the lips. You'll see up close with the MAC lip gloss, it's a lot more golden. With this one, it's a little bit more cool toned. Okay, I'm gonna compare the makeup throughout the day, and we'll see how everything's looking. Okay, doing the update in the office. I feel like we haven't seen this background in a while. How are we looking? I think overall we look pretty decent, really good. It's been, I think, almost 5.5 hours, so almost 6 hours since I applied my makeup. And I'm actually pretty happy with the way it's looking. It's been a very chill day. So I took a closer look at my makeup before I did the update. This BB cream, it's not looking good with either primer, especially on like right here. It just looks so heavy. All the little textures and bumps are so exaggerated on my face. Do you see that, like how dry and textured my skin looks? I will say the cheeks actually look really great. The blush is still there. I can still see the bronzer. Eyeliners, they haven't smudged. Either one. The one thing I will say I do like is this mascara, the Joa. Look at how curled and lifted my lashes look. Pretty impressed. And I did not recurl my lashes. This side right here, the Too Faced, you can see my lashes, they're there, but they're a little bit more droopy. They're not as lifted and curled. Versus this side, I mean, look at that. Looks like I recurled my lashes, but I didn't, so pretty happy. Eyebrows, they look pretty decent. That brow gel, it's not really doing much for me. It's a very low hold type of a brow gel, which is not bad, but you know, it's not doing much. The lip, I really like that lip liner. It's very beautiful. Both of the lip colors, I just reapplied the lip glosses. I was eating hot Cheetos earlier, and for some reason, this one on my right side, it stained, but this side it didn't. So that lip gloss by MAC, it has more of that kind of like gripping technology is what I was telling you about. It has more of that tacky finish. So it kind of adheres more to what you're wearing underneath, for example, like the lip liner. So it's on there a little bit more than the Joa. The Joa kind of slips and slides, but Joa is a little bit more comfortable feeling on the lips. Okay, how are we looking? I'm noticing right away my cheeks, there's still something there, but a lot of the product has gone missing. Like it just started to fade away. I would say both eyeliners look great. A little bit of fading and cracking you can see on the corner right here and on like right here at the very top. Mascara, I think they both look pretty even. This one has a little bit more flaky in the Too Faced, but I mentioned that I always have the issue with flaking with the Too Faced mascara. Eyeshadow is still there, looks pretty good. I would say the concealer mixed with the Morphe concealer, I actually really like that concoction. I do want to pick up a darker shade for the concealer and wear it for those lighter days, just because it's that type of concealer that you can't really build up. Just the consistency doesn't have as much pigment that I thought it would. Moving down to the BB cream, I actually think I like it. I like the color, I like the consistency of it. I like that it feels lightweight on your skin. It still looks like my skin, but in those areas where I kind of went heavy with the primer, I didn't think I did, but I'm pretty sure I did. It doesn't look good. It looks just exaggerating the pores and the texture of my skin. I actually like that beauty ball. I'm gonna keep wearing it. I'm gonna keep playing with it and just try more of a lighter coverage, use my fingers as my tools to blend it in, but I liked it so far. I'm actually pretty impressed with the lip liner. I still see it right there, but yeah, definitely check out those lip liners. I think they're pretty nice. I think the one thing you can skip is the bronzer. Blushes are good, they're pigmented, but I'm not impressed with the longevity. I still see it on my lip, my cheeks, but a lot of it has faded, so that's why I'm kind of not excited about the blushes and their longevity. But yeah, there's some pretty good products by Joa, and I encourage you to check them out. I like the price point, and I do like the quality for the price point that you get. I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you for watching, spending time with us, and I'll see you in the next one very soon. Bye.